Right, good afternoon again. Okay, for the final session of the day today, we've got Matteo Monari, who is a co-founder of BizUp, and Marcus Holmström, who's co-founder of Ayima Nordic. And basically, we've heard a lot about Penguin and Panda and all things Google today, but they're actually going to tell us, give us practical steps about what to do when you are actually hit with those penalties or those sanctions from Google. So without further ado, they're going to do a slight introduction, quick introduction about their businesses first. I'll pass it over to you, Matteo and Marcus.
Hello, hi everybody. My name is Matteo Monari. I'm a SEO specialist and I'm the co-founder of an SEO agency based in Italy but active across the whole of Europe. And we work a lot in the gambling segment and also in the finance segment and also a lot with big media sites. So we are, unfortunately, fairly used to seeing sites that have both problems with Google Penguin updates and problems with Google Panda updates. And so this is why we are here today, basically, and why I'm here today talking about these things.
Hi, guys. Tell me if you can't hear me back there. Then I shout. My name is Marcus Holmström, come from Sweden. I was one of the guys who started up Poker Listings, which is a poker website. Now I do consultancy on various companies. I've been doing SEO since '97, so too long, probably. Everyone has to ask a question, at least one.
So the session does not have a structured pattern. It is an open Q&A. So if you have any immediate question, you already know you want to ask on the topic, you can raise your hands. Otherwise, we can start by giving a quick introduction on the topics we are discussing here. Does anybody already have a question on the topics?
So, I was going to say, can you give us examples of the new penalties imposed by Google, just some practical examples, and then we'll start from there, and then we'll take it further.
Okay. So, basically, I think it is very important to differentiate between real penalties and the fact that a site has lost traffic due, for example, to a Google algorithmic update. So, there is a penalty that it means your site has been flagged somehow within Google and is temporarily penalized. It's like when you are a football player and you get a red card. Then you stay out and you don't play maybe for 2 matches. Then when the referees find that you can go back and play, then you go back and play and you are just as good as before. And these are Google penalties. Then there is Google algorithmic updates, which is a different thing. Google algorithmic updates is when Google changes the rules. So it's as if in football, all of a sudden, if the goalkeeper can catch a ball before the ball goes in, then that one counts as 3 points. Okay? That is not a red card or a yellow card. That is a change in the rules. And this is what Google algorithmic updates are. So from a Google penalty, you can go in and out of the penalty. But from a Google algorithmic update, it means Google has changed the rules by introducing other subset of rules. Google Panda is an example of this subset of rules. Google Penguin is another example of another subset of rules. So when Google added those components to the algorithm, some sites were impacted. And then, colloquially speaking, you can say, my site has been penalized, meaning that your site has lost traffic due to a change that somehow occurred. But it is important to understand that a traffic loss due to a change of algorithm or to a refresh in their algorithm is not really a penalty, but it is just a traffic loss. And then when it comes to Google updates, it is also, this was the difference between a penalty and an algorithmic update. And then it is also important for you, I think, to understand the difference between an algorithmic update and a data refresh. An algorithmic update means, as I said before, a change in the rules that Google applies when deciding who is best. A data refresh is when Google does not change the rules, but somehow has received new scores about what happened since the last time it updated the scores. So going back to the football metaphor, it's as if, the referees could not see the match live, and after they changed the rules, as we said before, every now and then they get a phone call telling them, whose goalkeeper caught what ball and who scored during the match. So then they remake again the list of the top teams in the league. So this is what a data refresh is. So algorithmic update, change of the rules. Data refresh, no changing in the rules, but new fresh data coming in, so rescoring of the sites. And these are the main three things that we can discuss, basically, we're supposed to discuss here today. What is a penalty and how to recover from different kind of penalties, what is Google Panda and what impacts it has, and what Google Penguin does to the sites, and so on. And I think that for an overview of Panda and Penguin and their differences and what they're concerned really when it comes to sites and affiliate sites, I can leave the word to Marcus.
Thank you, Matteo. Wow, we almost practiced this. Yeah, if you look into the Panda algorithmical change, the Panda is looking into the quality of content. So the quality of how the content is on a website. So, for example, if you have been writing a lot of articles with quite poor content, you did it the old-fashioned way. You're a casino website or a poker website, and you write content with 100 good words or 300 good words, and then you do that for every single term that you want to rank for. That might have worked, and then you shot a lot of links to them, and you had good rankings. And then Google went in with their Panda and looked into the content quality, and then bam, your website died. That is Panda. They look into actually what's happening on the website, how people are looking at your website, the bounce rates, for example, if people are clicking toward your website and clicking back, how long they stay, how they actually basically interact with you. Penguin is instead, they're looking into the links. Who is linking to your website, and how are the quality of the linking websites, and how natural is it? We're quite past the days when Google said that you can't get penalized for what someone else is doing toward you. You most definitely can, and we all are. But what you look into when it comes to Penguin is that how many links do you have? What kind of links are they coming from? Are the networks, for example? Are the websites interconnected, interlinked to each other in different ways? Same owners, same IP, same structure, etc. Do they have the same codes, affiliate codes, or whatever on the websites? Look into all of these patterns. Then they also look into where are the links placed. Are they placed in a way that is not natural for a link placement, for example, in the footer outside the actual page where it's not visible for the human eye, or these kind of things. And then they also look into how possible is it that the link is a real link. For example, that you have these articles. The article is about cooking, for example, and then in the middle you say, yeah, and while you wait for your cake to be in the oven, you can play casino. Link to casino sites. Is it natural? No. These kind of patterns to look into, and that's Penguin. Then you also have these like payday loan algos and these kind of things as well, where they kind of Panda and Penguin, the birds, they kind of apply for most websites, every single vertical. But then you also have these that apply for more spammy verticals. Viagra, casino, payday loans, etc. Sorry if I'm stepping on some toes here, but extremely spammy, where people are shooting black hat links, hijacking websites, doing all these kind of nasty things, and then they try to get rid of those in the payday. Now it's time for questions.
Matteo, just picking up on I think the algorithmic changes you mentioned. So you mentioned new set of rules as opposed to the first one, which was I can't remember the penalty here. The new set. Who says new set of rules implies rules can be broken and are broken often? I mean, isn't that the nature of the business in a way? I mean, how do you deal with constant new rules that are made up by someone who's virtually a monopoly, essentially?
Yes. Well, basically unfortunately, no matter what kind of SEO guy you are, you can be a black hat SEO, which wants to fool Google, or you can be a hypothetically white hat SEO, which means you do not want to fool Google, but unfortunately, either you run against Google or you run together with Google. You need to run anyway because things are changing all the time. So these kind of changes in the algorithm either mean that your site is going to go down to 0 in terms of traffic if you have been pushing the limit very hard, which means if you were doing black hat stuff or more aggressive things, and they're going to impact you very badly, or your site is just not going to be the best site anymore according to Google, so you need to understand why and adapt your strategy a little bit. This is the main difference, but still it impacts everybody. When Google changes the rules, it impacts everybody. So unfortunately, when there is a change in the Google algorithm, it means that there has to be a change in the strategy in which one person works. Not just like, I will just tune this thing down a bit. Unfortunately, one has to really sit down and rethink what is supposed to do with the money as deciding to invest in SEO, because it may just be going the wrong direction completely due to the change.
Hi. When we get a Panda or Penguin update, can we actually check somewhere that which rules are changed, or some suggestions what should we do to make our page work better or optimize it? Not only the way that we see, okay, my page is dead, I have to do something about it. Is it written anywhere?
Well, it's not like Google is going out and telling you this is what we did and you have to do this, unless you're an extremely big website, then I might do it. I would say this: I'm quite negative when it comes to these things. So if you are an average affiliate website and you get hit by Panda, so you get an algorithmical hit for the content, and you are not a brand. Then you might look over the content to see, okay, is it possible? Do I have any problems, for example? Do I have a CMS problem? For example, I was working with one website many years ago. We got hit in the first Panda. It was a poker site, and we had a small poker forum on the side of the website on the same domain. And the CMS kind of auto-generated. We were not hacked or anything, but it auto-generated 3 million pages that we didn't know about. And that kind of killed the website. We removed those, and then we came back up. So you might be lucky that you can find like a real problem and then remove it, and then you're back. But if you've been like writing fairly bad content on a domain that's not really a good value for any user, and you get hit by Panda, I would actually remove the domain, and then I would start over from the beginning. And of course, in every single update, to answer your question, in every single update, you can read several SEO forums, Black Hat World, for example, and people are sharing a lot of information, what happened to them, what they've been doing, these kind of things. SEO Roundtable, all of these trying to like dissecate the newest update and then share information. So of course there are information what have happened, but in the end of the day you have to look into what actually you have your website, and be honest to yourself. Is it good enough, or should I be hit?
I have a follow-up question, obviously. Let's say you have a domain like 10 years old. Somebody did Black Hat SEO 5 years ago there. It was, let's say, all the links were removed, the bad content was removed, the domain is real, the web page is working, a lot of interesting news, blogs, other stuff, interactions, like plenty of people, like first domain in the country or whatever. So you have real content, you have real connections, and you don't do anything Black Hat SEO. Is there a way to check right now if there is something wrong, like lowering my score around? That's first part of the question. And if there is, what should I do? The removing website domain is not possible. So what should I do in that case? I'm in that situation, obviously.
Yeah. I would first look into when you lost the traffic, and if it is during a period of time when they actually did the update. And you can look into various places when they actually did the updates and look into your analytics code and see, is it during the same period of time? Because then you know if it's Panda or Penguin or both. Yeah, so that's the first thing. And then if you have, if you narrow it down to, I have this exact problem, I have the Panda problem, I have the Penguin problem, then of course you can take actions. Then you know that, okay, Google, in this case, doesn't like what I have in terms of content or in terms of links. And then I would do it to, for example, if it's links, to give a specific example, I would look into, I would try to gather all the links I have to the website. I would use various link tools. I would use like Majestic, Ahrefs, I would use Webmaster Tools, etc. Gather such a big list as possible. Then I would look into which of these links are not indexed in Google anymore. So I would look into, did Google actually de-index a lot of these links, for example? And then I would also look into, as I said before, look for patterns. I would look for networks, etc., that might drag me down. And then I would start to contact these websites manually first to show that Google that I'm actually doing an effort. Regardless, this might be good. Most of the links are not going to be removed anyway. And then I would disavow the rest. That is crap. And then I would hope for the best, and you might come back.
So let's say I introduced all the changes. Some of the ones you mentioned were already done. We are doing the second one, next ones. When should I expect changes in the indexing, in the rating, or whatever it's called? Like, is it a matter of weeks, months, a year, or?
Yeah, it's a one-to-one here. No, but if I forgot to say one thing. You should also look into your Webmaster Tools, of course, and see if you have a flag there, if they actually told you that you have some kind of penalty. Because if you have a penalty, it's manual. That might tell you something different. But if you talk about this algorithmical, nowadays I would actually expect it to come when the next update is. So if it's Panda, now it's there was just a Panda update, and then during the next Panda, they will look into who cleaned it up. They did a Penguin, it's rolling out now, came this weekend, and a lot of websites actually came back in this one, and a lot of Black Hat websites died. Was that answer to your question?
How often is the Panda introduced? The next one, because you said the next one is, and the same with the Penguin. How many times a year?
I think that Google recently said that Panda for them is an ever-rolling update nowadays. There is new releases of the algorithm, and when the new algorithm is out, it means that, for example, if Panda 4.1 comes out, it means the rules are slightly different. So there will be a bunch of sites that are bumping up. So that's why people says, oh, this is a big new release. But Google, if I remember correctly, recently said that like the data refresh of Panda has now reached a frequency such that, to such a level of frequency that they consider it to be an ever-rolling update. So there will not be big data refreshes. While in a Google Penguin, you see still more that when the big bumps concern many sites when it happens, the new Penguin updates, let's say. So let's say that Panda, I would expect sites to more now start to, if you've done the cleanup and you're cleaning up, to see your site doing this slowly. And then maybe if there is at a certain point a bigger data refresh or an update, then you can do this. While with Penguin, it will still be more like this, I think.
Any more questions?
But I think that if you don't see anything in 6 months, then you should start considering doing something else.
In the Google page, the answer to the question is that they actually make 27 updates since 2011 to the Panda. But my question is that 27 updates
27 since
2011. my question is that, do you think Google will come up with a new strategy of defining what's a good website? Because the first time they did it was in 2011. Since then, they didn't really do anything telling us. So what do you think about that?
We can answer first Marcus, then me.
Yeah.
So we see if we agree or not on this one.
I think this. I think that Google is trying to educate. I think they have a fairly same strategy as they had for a very long time ago. What is a good website and how they want to define the search world. And I think they're trying to educate people, and that's what they're doing with various strategies. They're doing it with updates, Panda, Penguin. They're doing it manual actions. They're doing it with PR, for example, when they removed the BMW from German search some years ago. They're trying to, in a way, give us, scare us, and in a way, try to teach us. But I think their strategy is fairly similar, and how they define a good website is fairly the same as before. So, yeah, it's just that they are more open today, actually, in what they actually do.
I think I agree with Marcus, and I also think about the whole will links still matter kind of discussion. I think that they will still matter, but with the advent of social media sites, I think it is a common agreement that there is much, much less links going around, because much less people have blogs and much less people write on forums and much less people publish articles containing links. So in general, the amount of link equity that is available to vote for sites has decreased drastically. So I do think that on the one hand, Google will still consider them, but Google also understands that nowadays, while before 10 years ago, everybody potentially had a blog and could link to futile kind of content, nowadays most links are about serious topics. So there will be, on the one hand, the informed links that are on magazines and authoritative blogs, which is more or less what is left online on the normal web outside the social media area today. And another component, I think, will be more and more based on the traffic, since Google now has a very heavy permeation of Google Chrome and Android. And that means that Google knows what people do online, and Google knows what sites people visit, and Google knows what sites people access directly. So I think that there will be a mix of user data gathered through the other Google properties and links that are from the normal web. And I also think that the Google authorship, even though the how can I say, the front end, the outlook of Google authorship that used to be the name under the articles with the picture when the author was in Google Plus and recognized as an official author, let's say, even though this has disappeared, it does still exist. People still have profiles in Google Plus, and Google still wants to know who wrote a certain piece of content, which means that Google will want to know who is best or not in a certain field and give a different score to the links in different pieces of content written by different people, because Google knows that you watch a lot of YouTube videos about animals, and so if you write about animals, you are probably more informed than somebody else that has a different user behavior. So I think that the link scoring will be heavily, and it's already today, heavily influenced by the real authorship level of a certain person in the eyes of Google.
One more thing there. Also, when you build links nowadays, to follow up on that one, what Matteo said, and I agree with you also, so we are friendly here. No, but to build links nowadays, I would rather focus on doing fewer amounts of links, but with higher quality, than trying to do lots and lots of links from various sources. I've been trying this quite a lot with a few sites, and if you get some really, really nice links and you have really, really nice content, for example, you get some links from Forbes and you get these kind of links, that might be quite difficult to get, but if you invest a lot of time and you are quite smart and lucky, you might get them, and then you will really rank well for it. That you couldn't really do before. You could rank for some keywords, but now the entire website actually rises quite nicely when you do this. So it's more PR, branding kind of links today than keyword links.
I also think that to complete on this, that I said before that a change of algorithm means also a change of strategy. What really changed with Google Penguin is that before, a link was either a vote in favor of your site, or it was a vote that was going to be ignored by Google because Google thought that link was not spontaneous, or in the long run, if you had many of these zero-value links, Google may have thought that you were trying to fool the system, and then was going to penalize you with a penalization. Instead, with Google Penguin, every single link you get can be a negative vote, and you do not know it. So before, if somebody came to you and said, I have 50 very cheap links, do you want them or not? You could just say, yeah, why not? They cost 10 euros, so let's try them out. Worst case scenario, I never did this before, worst case scenario, they're just going to be discounted and not value anything. They will not take down my site. But if now you do the same thing, you are basically buying 50 bad reviews for your site. You're buying 50 minus votes. So those will immediately impact your site. And this is the big change that happened with Google Penguin, that every link switches from being either a 0 or a 1. Every link can now also be a -1. So this is what is now really changing the game, I think, and especially in our field, in which it is a fact that in the past years, links were traded and sold by the kilograms or by the pound, depending where you live. But
sorry, it's gonna be me again. What about the social media in general? Last few years I had a lot of talks about it, the links on Google+, Facebook, Twitter and other stuff. And let's say some of our businesses run 60, 70, 80% of the traffic comes from the social media. There is plenty of links, the real links, real networks, real people, real tweets, and we do a live cover. It doesn't matter what we do. So most of the traffic comes from the social media. Is it counted really? Do we have to diversify? We are trying to, but because of what you said, people are focusing on the social media right now. They are coming back from the blogs and other stuff on other sites. Do we have to focus on convincing them to produce a content or link a content in the real different web pages, or is it rated anyway or counted anyway in the social media, which is natural for them in the most cases?
There's going to be a long answer. First I would say no, it doesn't, but in a way it does. If you, for example, say that you have comments on your website, you have comments connected to social media networks. If you have that on every single page and no one is actually commenting, I would remove it because it's negative for your website and it might lower your overall score. I would say social media, when it comes to rankings, it's more that it's a proof that your content works, that your website works, more than anything else. You have people coming there from various sources, and as Matteo said, Google really knows today where people are coming from, how they interact with you. So in that sense, it's good. But if you have you're a heavily user on Twitter and you tweet everything, you have shitloads of followers, apart from you have lots of traffic coming to the website, I would say no, it doesn't really matter. It might matter if you use Pinterest, for example, or you use these other sources for indexing a fairly new website or new content, because they're looking into the content and they might go there to fetch the information. But I wouldn't use it as a pure SEO strategy to rank higher. No, apart from actually having that it's a healthy website and it's natural and it works. And also, you might not be as need Google as much if you're good with social media, which might be good.
I agree with Marcus that search engines most likely use social media elements more as a signal of freshness and to understand what they need to index, because that's what people is talking about. And so Google and other search engines want to index what people is talking about right now, no matter how hard that is. And this is, we can see this also in the big effort that Google is making to crawl what Google calls the deep web. So what is inside a forum, for example, or even that you need to fill in a search form or select from drop-down menus, Google used to be not technically capable of doing these things, but nowadays Google does try to fill in a search query inside maybe, I don't know, a big e-commerce site that doesn't have any navigation. Let's say Amazon, that is very hard. If you think about Amazon, it's very hard to reach what you want to find without writing what you're looking for. So Google is trying to fill in random words inside text boxes to discover more and more pages because Google wants to index what people is talking about. But so I think this is what Google is actually nowadays using social signals for, this and freshness. But in general, about like, should you write content for the social media or for the site and so on, I think it is very good to acquire, this is more web marketing and digital strategy advice and SEO advice. It is always good to differentiate your traffic sources because you do not want to rely on somebody else, because if tomorrow Google disappears, then you don't have the Google traffic, or if tomorrow Google decides that Google doesn't like your site anymore because Google doesn't like you for some reason, then you will lose part of your business. But also it is when it comes to social media, nowadays many people think all the traffic is on Facebook, so instead of making a website, I will just try to make a very popular Facebook page. This would be the same mistake that many SEO people did until very recently, and they thought SEO traffic is free, why should I invest in advertising? And then Google changes the algorithm and their site is gone. You never want to build your house in somebody else's garden. So if you have to make an effort, you should do, first of all, make an effort on your site, and then think how to promote it on the channels where people is, be in the search engines, social media, or YouTube, or whatever. But it is a very risky business to just do a YouTube channel. It is not a coincidence that I take something completely different. Many famous YouTubers are now becoming actors and TV hosts because TV, there are many TVs, but YouTube is one. If YouTube decides that that actor, they don't like it anymore, they don't want to give him such a good deal as he has today, he's out of YouTube maybe. So it is the same thing in our business. You should always try to differentiate and think that you should build your house in your own land, not on somebody else's garden.
I get it. That's the answer I wanted to hear. I'm not saying we are creating the specific contest for the Facebook or something. We see that we have some issues with guys, with players or people writing a comment on a site or somewhere because they are so used to the social media right now that maybe 10% of them want to write a comment anywhere, actually, beside the Facebook. I even see it on myself, and I'm not that young, first of all. The second of all, you mentioned the YouTube. What about the other video providers like Vimeo and other stuff? Because YouTube has issues with compression and other stuff. We want to put a video of a nice quality of Vimeo, let's say, and I put the same video here and here. Are they still treated the same as a link of content or content on my page and linked on Facebook or wherever, or YouTube as the part of the company, let's call it, or whatever, or connected to the company, will be treated better? Like I was told that Google Plus is treated better. Like, I guess it was even last time here in Barcelona. We were told that G Plus is treated better than Facebook in terms of connecting to our content. So the question is it the same with the video sites like YouTube?
I will take this last bit. In general, surprisingly, in order for a video to rank, it is better if the video is not on YouTube, because you can index it better if you have your own player and you make a good video sitemap and you optimize the page on which the video is. It is in general easier to make a video rank for a normal query in Google. Google likes to show videos, okay? If you make a video, you have a Flash player or an MPEG player, there are even free ones, and you use a video sitemap and you use meta tags within the video and you place the video on a page that is optimized for the video and everything, that video will more easily rank than that same video if placed in YouTube. This is also very good because actually when you will click on that video, you will not just see the full screen video, you will see the landing page on which the video is. So in general, for some keywords, for those keywords for which Google thinks it is relevant to rank a video, it is also easier to rank a video than to rank a piece of text. So if you understand that for the search keyword, for example, slot games reviews, for example, or this, I don't know, the Hulk slot machine review, Google, if you think or you understand that Google would consider showing a video, it is easier, much easier to rank a video than to rank a text. So if you make a video, make an optimized page and no optimized video, thanks to the video, you can bring traffic to your landing page, which has maybe the video on top and the game under and the free slot under. So this is a good strategy, for example. When it comes to video duplication, Google is still lagging behind in understanding what and what not. So if you use different metadata, you can often reuse the same video without really Google not indexing your video just because it's a copy of another video.
Yeah, hi. Do you have a couple of examples of websites that have incorporated, obviously, these good balance practice?
But in what field?
Yeah. Well, yeah, both Panda and Penguin in the gaming industry.
Interesting. I'm not going to talk about my sites.
I think that a safe bet, I think, would be the PokerStars site. I'm more familiar with poker than with casino. But in general, if you think about how PokerStars built their brand compared to other brands, they have not been really focusing on sheer link building. They've been creating a real brand, sponsoring famous people, sponsoring big events. And these events, the European Poker Tour, for example, or these sponsorships, led them to, first of all, to a lot of content that they can write because they have the events, and so there is stuff happening and going on. And at the same time, this also led them to receive links that cannot be just bought by some other competitors. So there are, on the other hand, big brands that may be invested the same amount of money PokerStars did in events, just in SEO and link building, which it is strange that I say that because that is my job, but that is maybe was not so wise because they only bought the final product that is the link instead of buying the whole machine that generates the links. While if you invest that money in building the machine that finally generates the content and the links, then it is more of a long-term investment. So in our industry, I was discussing before also with Marcos, also big brands are very used to say, I want a high-quality link. Here, some brands can even say, I want a high-quality link. Here are 2,000 euros for it. A high-quality link you cannot buy with 2,000 euros. Maybe you can buy 50 of them with 10,000 euros because you create a special content, an exclusive interview with a famous porn star that says that she lost her virginity playing poker, for example, and then some gossip magazine write about it, and you end up on Paris Hilton in the US, that is maybe a PageRank 7, you know, and you paid 5,000 euros to the porn star, and then you got the PageRank 7 links plus 2,000 more links of people that just reblogged what they read there. But if you had gone to Paris Hilton and saying, hello, here is $10,000, put me a link, he would have said no. So this is the change of mindset that has to happen probably in the industry, which has already happened in cleaner industries, but that are just as hard as this one, real estate, finance, e-commerce, loans. This change of mindset happened before than it is now happening in gambling, basically.
Yeah, okay, just give us an example outside of gaming then.
An example outside of gaming. Zalando is, you know... Yeah, it is basically the European version of Zappos.com. They sell shoes, and they are, I think, Europe's biggest e-commerce when it comes to clothing. If you look at Zalando, they have loads of pages that are also about specific topics that are like, you know, you think about clothing e-commerce, you think it's going to have sweatshirts and jeans. If you go to Zalando, you will see they have, like, I don't know, party clothes, rock festival clothes, a map of the music festivals of Europe and how to dress based on what music festival you're going to. These are different pages that can actually get links spontaneously. You understand?
Do you have any examples of websites that do it badly?
There are many, but it's not good to say who is doing things bad. But I think that if you write, I don't know, casino bonus and go to page 4 of the results, you will see many sites. But nobody's doing things bad. Everybody is doing things as good as they can.
Trying to do them as good as they can.
Yeah, but also it's like people might have different strategies because, for example, you can spam Google today and you can rank even if they have whatever algo updates. I have some small fly flying here. No, but if they, even regardless of their updates, whatever. But if you really want to spam Google, you can still do it. You can buy shitloads of links between the updates, and you come up, and you might steal a lot of traffic, and then you die. And that might be your strategy. And to find bad examples, I would say go to some Black Hat forums and then scroll down. You can find multiple ones.
I will now ask a question. But then what happens if people buy bad links to your site? Because this question normally comes up now, so I am the one asking it this time.
It depends which website. If it is a website that I've been investing a lot of time and efforts in, and that's quite old, it's a brand. Nothing really happens, to be honest, if people start to buy shitloads of links to it, because search engines, and especially Google, see a pattern. They see what have you been doing for years before, and then if I've been doing clean link building, brand building, working with the content, sponsoring events, etc., and then all of a sudden I get like 50 million links pointed to me, they're going to see something screwed here. It's probably not you that are pushing these links to you. So nothing would happen. And I experienced that. But if I, on the other side, have a small website, mom and pop, or a small poker website, poker-something-something.com, been around for 2 years, fairly low amount of links, fairly low quality, and someone starts to push lots of links to them, it will die. And I can't really do anything about that today.
Okay, we're just coming to the end of the session. Any final questions from anyone?
You can also ask questions about Yandex if anyone is interested in Russia.
Anyone interested in Russia? Okay. Well, that brings our first day of the BAC to an end. Thank you very much to Matteo and Marcos. Thank you for your attention.